Good morning, friends, and welcome back to Our Peaceful Haven. Oh, rise and shine, friends. Welcome to another day. Lest any one of you think that my life is perfect and that I always look so glamorous, here I am in all of my full morning glory. My lovely bedhead and pajama clothes, but welcome to a new day. Every day is a blessing, every day is a gift, and we're all thankful to be alive. Amen. Since I recorded this video, I have since given up coffee. It has actually been one of the easiest things that I never knew I always needed. I've always been super addicted to coffee in the morning, didn't realize I was addicted until I got sick and I really wanted a cup of coffee, and I would try to drink it and could just get a few sips down, and then I was like, forget this, I'm just gonna give it up, see what happens. And you guys, it has actually turned out to be a really good thing for my body, my health, and everything. I still having a lot of health issues lately, and I can't quite figure out what's going on, but like I said, thankful to be alive, thankful for another day, a new opportunity. But I have given up coffee since this video, and that has been such a blessing. So I wanted to share, if you're having any health issues, this might be one thing to try to see how it affects you. And just in case any of you think it's just because of the amount of half and half I put in my coffee, that's not it either. I've tried to switch to plain raw milk and raw milk heavy cream, and that didn't help either. It actually is the coffee. It does a lot to my nervous system, and not having it has truly changed a lot of things for me. Every morning I wake up and fix breakfast for my kids. Some days it's a nice breakfast with some grits or rice and turkey bacon or sausage, some home laid eggs, homegrown, whatever that would be, and some sourdough or something like that. And then other days it is a bagel with cream cheese and some salmon, or maybe it's homemade waffles or pancakes. Some days it's a bowl of cereal and some fresh raw milk. Every day is different. My kids like the variety, so we just go with the flow and with whatever I feel like doing that morning. Some mornings are just cereal mornings, and then other mornings are a little bit more. But today I'm making egg in a basket or egg in a hole. I know they have a bunch of different names for my daughter. Sorry, a bunch of different names for what I'm doing here. My daughter has a name. Hers is not egg in a basket. But anyway, I'm making that for her and some toast for me and my kids, and for me and my boys. And then we'll get our day started. Our mornings are slow. That's the beauty of homeschooling and being home with my children. So we're just not really morning people. It's getting a little bit better, but no rush around here in the mornings. It's kind of been a while since I've posted a video. I had a sweet conversation with my daughter one day who, we were going through some things. She was going through some things as we get older. Even an 8-year-old, 9-year-old little girl, they have a lot of emotions, and this was just one of those days. She was having a lot of emotions, and we were talking about things, and she said, Mom, even our YouTube channel doesn't really it's not really us. And so I don't know, that really kind of shook me to my core, because I thought I was doing a good job of just being real and showing, our real life. We are just normal people over here. Redneck. I don't know if that's the word. We're not really redneck. We're just Southerners. We have our traditions and our ways of doing things. And when you start to record yourself, you really start to see and hear yourself do things that open your eyes, and you're like, ooh, I don't want the whole world to see that. So you can edit it out so easily and quickly. And I thought I was doing a good job of displaying our family, or showing our family, whatever the word is, a real view of who we are, because that's what I want. And so it's kind of made me step back a little bit and just assess, what's the purpose of this? What am I trying to do? What am I trying to portray? What do I want people to see in us, about us? I don't want any of you to see us. I don't want you to see something and be like, ooh, I want what they have, or I want to be like that, or whatever. I want you, honestly, the main goal of this whole channel is to document our lives for my family's sake, because it is fun and sweet to go back and see your kids grow up and you can hear their voices. What a blessing. But it can also be a curse, this whole format of social media. But the curse part of it is that, one, it can take up so much time. It can, two, make you portray yourself as this perfect person with this perfect family and this perfect home. And I think anybody who knows us knows that that's not true. And I would hope that that's not ever something that anybody who watches this perceives and gets from our channel. We have a lot of brokenness in our family. There's a lot, even just when my husband and I got together, there was a lot of things that just maybe weren't ideal for beginning a marriage or whatever, but we have worked through, and Yah the Father has changed us so tremendously and has done such a work in our lives. And over the years we have gone through things and we have persevered, we've overcome, we've changed, we've adapted, and we've just been blessed in a way that is a lot of times people on the outside can't see it, or it looks really strange, or it looks really weird. So much of our belief system, our faith has changed, but in so many ways it's still the same. A lot of our fundamental beliefs are still the same. There's just some really large key areas that are different, that the Father has brought us through over the years and has taught us and shown us in Scripture. And He's just been so gracious to walk with us through the ups and downs, through the grief, through the excitement, through the zeal even that we've had to realize, sometimes in our zeal we can do things unbiblically. And for that, it's unfortunate. It really is. But He's so gracious to show us His grace and show us His mercy so that we can show that to other people and pray that they will show it to us as well. So, I don't know. When I recorded this, I had no idea what I was going to say to it. Sometimes I wonder if I should just talk while I'm doing the recordings and say what's on my heart then. But what's interesting is, just recently I opened this video up to edit it. I did the whole voiceover, and that day was a really hard day for me, and I ended up going back and I deleted everything. I felt like it was very, very vulnerable, and I said some things that maybe I just wanted to keep to myself and between me and Yah, because normally when I edit these videos, it's just me here by myself. My family's away so that it's quiet. And I think I just needed to speak some of those things out loud, and it was very, very healing to me. And so, all that to say, I am so thankful for this platform and this ability to be able to share our lives with others, and in some way maybe encourage you or help you do something different, or to encourage you to step out and to, I don't know, just, it's okay to be weird. I don't think it's weird. We are who we are, and in many, 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 many ways, we're still the same people that we always have been. But there has been huge growth in our lives, and I can only give credit and praise to the Most High for that, because it's not us. We've just been willing participants. We've been willing to sacrifice our lives and die to our flesh, but there's still plenty of times that our flesh rules and we make bad decisions, or we do hurtful things or whatever, and just striving each day to do better. So I just wanted to share that. I just wanted to say that what you see here, I'm even listening or talking about this now, I'm having to reassess how I speak and the amount of editing that I do to my voice, or my ums and my ands and my buts and my pauses, all of those things that we want to sound perfect. We want to be perfect, and we're supposed to be perfect according to His truth, according to His righteousness. But He doesn't require us to be perfect in our flesh, if that makes any sense. Like, there are things about me that I can work on, and Yah willing, I will change. I can probably, become a better speaker and not stumble over my words, but that is who I am. That's a flaw, so to speak, about myself that I don't like and that I struggle with, especially recently, that I can't think of words or I can't formulate a sentence and I stumble over my words, and it's really frustrating. But the thing is that it really is who I am, and it really is what I want to portray, because I don't want anyone, especially my children, because my children do love to go back and watch these videos. I don't want them to listen to it and see me as a different person on these videos than they do in real life. Real life is hard. Editing your life for others can be completely false and fake, and that's not what I want. So anyway, all that to say, on this day, we were prepping for Sabbath. I was making some dip that you saw earlier. I just sort of was winging that, and it turned out to be so delicious. I don't even remember what the recipe was, what I did in there, but it was sort of a spicy, creamy, tangy dip that we added some turkey bacon to, and it was delicious. And then we went out and we were doing some yard work. Our daffodils were starting to come up, so you can see this was way early in the spring. I think it was March actually when this video was filmed. My beautiful, sweet daughter, she is just keeps me on my toes in all the good ways. She refines me greatly. And then the boys are just so helpful. And so working on this property, we have tons and tons and tons of trees, and all the leaves that fall from that. They're great for the ground, but man, it looks messy. So they're helping me on this day, and we're trying to get some things done before Shabbat, because typically we will have people come over after our fellowship that we go to on Saturdays. And so it's just nice in the spring to get your property cleaned up and your home cleaned up. My sweet husband, bless his soul, he was in there trying to fix our drain because it wasn't draining very well. So I love this little wall in my house. It's just artwork. That is a photo of me there in the green frame. So if you really want to know what my kids think about me, there you go. Now I am going to prep some scalloped potatoes for Shabbat. For our fellowship dinner, we have a dinner after we do tons of praise and worship and prayer, and we do a Bible study together, and then we'll have a meal together. So that's always delicious and fun. But I'm doing a scalloped potato recipe. Of course, it's one I've never done before. This is what I like to do. I like to take an experiment. I don't like to do the same thing very often, so it's just fun to try something new when you have a big group of people that, my family can sometimes be a little picky about things. So it's nice to experiment with other people, and then if we like it, we can make it more often. Here's my sweet girl getting me more daffodils. She didn't know I could see her, and I was videoing her out the window, and she was talking to herself. And I don't know, these moments are just moments that I want to remember forever. What did we ever do before we didn't have cameras and phones and videos? And but you know what, also we don't want to dwell on the past. We want to live every day to the fullest. And I think there probably was something really special about living in those moments before they had cameras and videos. We rely on it very deeply and greatly now. So I guess every generation, they probably could look at us and say, you need to live in the moment a little bit more, and they're probably right. So we won't take for granted too much. We don't need to pick anymore.
But Mom,
I like to look outside and see them.
but Mom.
This is so funny, this interaction with my daughter. She was like, we need to pick all the flowers. And I was like, but I like to look out the window and see them on the ground too. So it's just a difference in perspective. Isn't that interesting? She wants it right here in the house. She wants to pick the flowers. I want to be able to look out the window and see them. And so we all have a different viewpoint. There's something probably super biblical about that, but it's just interesting. Something to think about. Where is the beauty that we see? Is it in the moments? She's definitely a quality time and gifts kind of girl, and I'm sort of a I don't know. I've sort of changed over the years, and I don't really buy into all the love languages or whatever. I think all of them apply at different times and different seasons. I just tend to really enjoy soaking up the moments and the natural. I know there's a word for it. I can't think of it, but just looking out the window. But I do enjoy picking a bouquet of flowers and bringing them inside. So there's a balance. There's always a healthy balance, right? But I love her joy and her spunk and her zeal for life and her wanting to do things all by herself. I'm sure any of you with children know exactly what I'm talking about. I've had this mandolin slicer since my husband and I got married, so almost 20 years ago. But you want to slice your potatoes up super thin, get a nice coating of olive oil or butter, whatever it is you want to use, because nothing's worse than stuck potatoes to your pan. This pan, I've had it from the same time. We had a pampered chef party whenever we were engaged. A friend gave us a party, and we've got lots of kitchen gadgets and pans and things that we have had forever. So, I can't recommend them enough. They have lasted well, and these, what are they called? The stoneware pans, they are the best because they're so easy to clean and they do not stick. So, listen, with this recipe, I don't know that we followed a recipe. So we added some onion powder, garlic powder, salt, some paprika, probably some other things too, maybe some parsley, anything you want really, however you want to flavor them. But we went ahead and added all of the seasonings to the potatoes, mixed them up, massaged it in, and then we added a little bit more once we got it lined into the pan. We like a lot of seasoning, so don't be afraid with these potatoes. They're gonna soak it up in there, especially the salt. Are you a salt person? Is your family a salt family? My family loves salt, and I think the more you eat it, the more you crave it. But my boys drink a ton of water, like a ton of water. This mason jar of water would probably last me all day long, but my boys would probably drink 10 of them. So I think sometimes they're flushing out a lot of their electrolytes and water and stuff. So that's probably why. So I don't really worry about whether they're getting too much salt or whatever. I think we actually need more salt than, one of those whole scientific things. I don't buy into all of that stuff because I just don't. I won't get too far into that, but I think, flavor it however you like. I try not to go too salty or too spicy or anything like that when I'm cooking for a group of people, but layer these up in whatever fancy way you want to do it. Sometimes people will lay them horizontally. I think that's the best way to say it. They'll layer it and then layer it on top of that. I decided to do these more like a ratatouille type style. I thought it looked pretty. I thought it sounded good, so that's what we went with. And it ended up being delicious, really. Can you go wrong with potatoes or anything garlicky or oniony? So yeah, we sprinkled some more seasonings on top, the pepper, more paprika. We're going to make a roux, which is just butter and flour. And typically you'll do 1 tablespoon of butter to 1 tablespoon of flour. And then we add in our cheese. I'm pretty sure I was doing a mixture of cheeses here with like a Gruyere and mozzarella probably. I don't remember. Maybe I'll find a recipe and post it below if I can remember. And then we added in heavy cream. Mix that together, make it nice and creamy. And then we poured that on top of the potatoes. Once you cover the potatoes, you will bake it in the oven. I think I put some foil over top of this and bake it in the oven until the potatoes are done, and then you're good to go. This is a perfect standalone dish. You could add some like hamburger or sausage. We would do turkey sausage on top, or you could, eat it with any dish really, any type of meat. Typically when we go to our fellowship, everybody just brings something different. Sometimes there'll be a crock pot with some roast or a soup or a salad, bread. All of those things is so delicious. That is my kind of meal, to have a bunch of different things to choose from. I love appetizers and hors d'oeuvres and I love a variety of things. So this is our sweet kitty cat, Zipporah. She is a calico, and her brother is a, looks like a Maine Coon. I don't know exactly what that coloring is called on the boy cat, but she is just a sweet little kitty who only likes to be petted on her terms. We decided this evening to have a little fire to cook some hot dogs together. My sister and her kids came over, and we typically do that on Fridays if we're able to, and we enjoy that time together. So this is my sister and her children and catching the chickens. But I hope that this has been a fun video. I hope that you've enjoyed listening to what I've had to say, and that maybe you'll take it to heart as well. You know, we're just real people. This is real life. Our duck, not our duck, I say that all the time, it's our goose and our chickens and our messy yard and sometimes our messy home, and sometimes life is just messy, but it's beautiful. Every person has a beautiful life. You just have to find the beauty in it. You have to learn to see each other through the eyes of Yah and see each circumstance and each situation and find joy in them, right? You have to be willing to find joy in all things, and I think that that is the key to life. I think that that is the key to overcoming depression. It's the key to happiness. It's true biblical contentment is where we find true happiness. It's not a worldly happiness. It's not happiness based on our circumstances. That's something I've struggled with. I struggled with, you know, the hormonal month to month, week to week thing that goes on as you get older. I've struggled with finding contentment in where Yah has me, because I want to do great things. I want to have a lasting impact. I want to create a legacy. But I think the Father's just really showing me that when I pour into my children and I pour into my family, and each and every day I focus on that day, I have to remind myself this. I think we all do. We have to find joy and contentment and happiness and peace, His true peace that passes all understanding in all circumstances. And I'm thinking of the scripture that says, in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. He's going to show us where to go and what to do each and every day if we could just listen to Him, if we can be still in a way that is, we make decisions. Being still doesn't mean that we literally sit still every single day and we don't make decisions. It means we make decisions knowing that the Father is guiding our steps, and if He doesn't want us to go that way, He's going to make a way for us to know. His peace is going to leave us, type thing. We have to just be in His Word and be connected to Him each and every day. You guys, this hot dog was so good. Sorry, that distracted me. It was so good. I love to just add all the things on top of hamburgers or hot dogs or my eggs, whatever it is. So this one had some fermented jalapenos and chow chow, and I think it had some sauerkraut, homemade sauerkraut. But just has been another beautiful day, and there's no better way to end the day than next to a fire. So I pray that you guys have enjoyed this, and that you'll come back next time, and that you'll subscribe to our channel even. We thank you and love you all, and pray that you are blessed with Shalom.
Shalom from our home to yours.